Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Season 11, Episode 26, overall 576 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, located at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out their website, barrycullen.com, for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210 and tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership is the proud sponsor of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show for the last 3 years. And Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership is family run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969. Before we get to our show today, it is Monday, August 19th, 2025. And I want to wish my mom a very happy 80th birthday. So to my mom, Noreen Palme, a very happy 80th birthday party. And I want to give a shout out to Franny's Restaurant and Bakery, located at 2890 Victoria Street North in Breslau, Ontario. Telephone number 519-648-2371. And they have breakfast and lunch and dinner there. And we had breakfast and I had my pancakes. My mom ate a lot. And I want to say thank you to Abby at Franny's Restaurant and Bakery for getting my mom's 80th birthday cherry cheesecake. So check out Franny's Restaurant and Bakery, again at 2890 Victoria Street North in Breslau, just off of Highway 7 going to Kitchener. So again, thank you to Franny's and happy 80th birthday to my mom. Without my mom, I would not be here today. I hope everybody is doing well on this Monday, August 19th, 2025. And the show was supposed to happen last night at 8 o'clock, but unfortunately there were some technical difficulties. But the good news is my guest and myself, we've resolved them, and I'm looking forward to our guest today. Her name is Karen Wilson. She is an actor, a public speaker, an entrepreneur, and a positive advocate. And we both met on TikTok as well. And I'm going to bring on Karen Wilson today from the fine state of Indiana. Good afternoon, Karen. How are you?
Good afternoon, Chris, and thank you for having me on your show today. Also, I'd like to say happy birthday to your mother.
Thank you so much. And moms are really special too. And she's put up with me over the years too. I'm 53, so my mom's done a lot for me over the time. And all moms out there are very special. So thank you, Karen, for saying that.
You're welcome.
So how are you doing, and how's everything in the state of Indiana right now?
Well, like everywhere else, the weather is very hot. So I'm kind of over the summer for right now. But as far as me, I'm doing fine. Things are going okay, and life is good. How about yourself?
I swear, as soon as I shouldn't say I swear, but as soon as you hit 50 plus, it's like somebody has a remote control and they hit the fast forward button. This whole year and this whole summer is just flying by.
That is true.
By the way, I have been to Indiana before. About 10 years ago, I went on a bus trip to Indianapolis, St. Louis, Kansas City, Iowa, Chicago. And it was kind of like a Midwest Field of Dreams bus trip. And I had a great time there. And I wish I had more time when I was down in India, in the state of Indiana.
Well, I actually live closer to Louisville, Kentucky. We're the southern Indiana, so about 10 miles from where I live is Louisville, the home of the Kentucky Derby. Have you ever been to the Derby?
The Kentucky Derby, no, but the King and Queens played here in Toronto. Yes, I actually worked in a racetrack for 2 decades, so we have our big horse racing here as well. But yeah, the Kentucky Derby is one of the biggest races in all of North America.
Yeah.
What is it like living in the state of Indiana and being so close to Kentucky?
Well, I'm about 2 hours from Indianapolis. So a lot of our news or anything that we get in those regards are from Louisville because it's only about 10 miles from where I live. But it's different. I mean, the Ohio River separates Kentucky from Indiana. And Louisville is a lot of fun. They have a lot of a lot of great festivals and concerts and things like that. So that is the biggest city for us instead of Indianapolis. And I'm from a small town. It's a great little town. I grew up here, went to high school here. Everybody knows everyone. Of course, we're growing like everything else, but it's a real great place to raise your children. So I like this part of Indiana, and it's not flat. It's a lot of hills and trees. It's really quite pretty.
What would you say to my audience or our audience who have never visited Indiana, why they should come check it out?
Well, we have 4 seasons, like everyone else. Again, I would suggest just coming to Indiana and going to the small towns. They're very quaint. They're very friendly. People here still say good morning, and strangers come up to you and just open up and have a conversation with you. And again, the town that I'm in, if you have a family, is very, very family orientated. They have lots of things to do here in this town. So, if you're looking for a simpler life and you want to get out of the city and just go back in time to something a little more simple, I suggest that you try some of the small towns in Indiana.
Have you, I guess you've never been to Canada, have you yet?
I have never been to
Okay.
Canada. I've traveled in Europe and stuff, but never to Canada. And what's it like there?
We have our 4 seasons here as well. We have our big cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal. And then we have our small towns where it is totally different. Like there's one little small town where the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame is. It's about 7,000 people. It's called St. Mary's, Ontario. It's our version of Cooperstown for the Major League
Oh,
Baseball Hall of Fame. And people there are so friendly and down to earth. And sometimes there are a lot of advantages to living in a smaller town. I'm in a city called Guelph, which is about 170,000 people. It's no longer a town, and it's
hmm.
close to Toronto. And you're right, there's a big difference between the small towns to the bigger cities, just with how people approach you and that with friendliness.
Now, do they speak several different languages there? Because I know Quebec.
Quebec, yeah. We're very diverse with immigrants, so we do have a lot of people from other countries that come here and speak their different languages as well. I want to learn more French. I did take a little French when I was in high school, but you know what? Being bilingual is not a bad thing, and I kind of would like to learn another language or two going into the future.
Now, does parts of Canada have a large Jamaican community?
Yes, in the major cities like Toronto, yes.
Okay.
Toronto's our version of New York and Los Angeles. So in the bigger cities, I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And they do have a Caribbean parade every year in Toronto at the end of July, beginning of August, and we get a lot of Americans come over for that too as well.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully one day you'll get to visit Canada and the province of Ontario.
Yes, and hopefully soon.
Deal. Just let me know and I'll be your tour director.
Well, thank you.
All right, we'll get into some questions, Karen. Can you just tell my audience a little bit about yourself?
Well, as I said earlier, I am from a small town, Charlestown, but after college, I studied broadcasting in college. I moved to New York City, and that was
Wow.
several years ago, well, a long time ago, actually, and was fortunate enough to get with a teleprompting company that took me to CBS and ABC. And from there, I networked. I mean, when I was working with the teleprompting company, we would work on the soap operas behind the scenes and also on the nightly news or whatever functions that they had at ABC or CBS, and eventually just networked my way into CBS local news and started out there as like a desk assistant. At the time, I thought I wanted to get into reporting, but it didn't quite work out for me there. And so I've worked as a producer behind the scenes. I've also worked at J.C. Penney at the time, back in the day, had their own television station. And so I would work, it's in-house. This is the time when people used to travel to different locations for the latest dresses or whatever it was. And so I worked as a producer there. I always wanted to be a talk show host. So I tried my hand and auditioned and different things there. And then kind of stayed in New York City for a long time and decided, hey, you know what? You're an actress. And so I started taking classes while I was in New York City, and I do a lot of local theater here and things like that as well. And I've always tried to be a positive person. I think I have some wisdom. And as time went on, I was like, I don't want to give up on my dream, which was to be in television. And I do have a degree from that, from Murray State University in broadcasting. And so, life goes on. You make plans and life goes on. And it's been a lot of ups and downs. And I thought, I just can't give up on myself. I still have to believe in what I want to do, what makes me feel good. And that's how I ended up doing I try to do feel good videos on TikTok. And so I've done a few of those and try to keep it positive and informative, things like that. And sure, there's few that has been, I would say, not necessarily political, but the overtone of it, I just still try to give people some hope and even presenting something like that. So I consider myself to be a positive energy, and I like to give that back to the world. So that's who I think I am. And I, like you, I love people, all kinds of people. So, and I always have. So I just love the idea of just being able to just go up and talk to anyone. And I think a lot of that came from living in this small town, that people are still real friendly and they'll go up and they'll talk to you and things like that. And then I also worked in New York City back in the day as hostess for couple celebrity chefs, and that I learned so much from every job and each and every experience. So some people look as trying different things as failure, but I look at it as opportunity. um, I've learned so much about myself from each and every experience. Things that I never thought I could do, I can do. I never thought about. Working in restaurants, I realized, wow, I really like to cook. So being around all the food and the ambiance, and it's just different experiences bring out different emotions within yourself. And life is worth living. So go for it.
Absolutely. And I started this new career in the radio media probably almost 6 years ago at the age of 47. And I self taught myself. And I've had a lot of success in the 6 years, but I've also had some people tell me no and reject me. I don't ever use the word failure. I call it as a temporary setback. And the biggest thing is your mindset. You have to believe in yourself before anyone else will believe in you. And you also have to learn not to take things personally. And the
That's
one thing
right.
one thing I'm working on too is surrounding myself with more positive people, because negative people or people who don't want to see you succeed can drag you down.
You are absolutely right in that regard. I just remember when I was so young and so excited about life, and I just wanted to tell everybody. And then I learned, oh, not everybody's happy for you. Not everybody wants you to succeed. And, getting rejection, especially when you're trying to make it as an actor, you have to learn to take it on the chin and have the confidence in yourself to say, oh, you might feel this way, but I don't feel that way about myself, and keep going no matter what. And the rejection, as I was saying, that some people think is failure because you didn't get this opportunity that you thought you were going to get. Sometimes it's the best thing that could happen to you because something better can open up for you. We can't we can't I'm not a psychic. I don't know what's going to happen. So when someone says no, I go, okay, that's just how they feel. But you have to pick yourself up and believe in yourself and keep going. And you know what? You'll be surprised at the different opportunities that you'll get. I mean, I've waited tables, I've done all kind of crazy little jobs, but it's taught me a lot about myself, and I've learned other skills that I have applied in just talking to you today. Being just waiting tables is being open to someone and listening to what they have to say and communicating. And it's helped me in so many different ways.
Doing this show, I'm the talk show host, I'm the producer, the content creator, but I've also stepped out of my comfort zone and I've also learned how to edit video. I do live in-person interviews.
See?
It's not really work when you have a passion for it. And I'm trying to prove to everyone age is just a number because
That's right.
I've been told you're too old, you don't have broadcasting degree, and I'm like, I'm going to prove you wrong. And mindset positivity is huge. And I wanted to ask you this too, since I've done some camera work for a TV company as well, which was a great experience. Being a producer, how much did that kind of help you in becoming an actress and actor as well?
Well, with being a producer really helped me with, I'm able to write my own stories. I'm able to work with edit, like you said, to edit, sound, understand lighting. All of those little steps help me get to where I can do things independently. So, being a producer, oh, also a budget. It taught me how to manage a budget really well. So through that, it led me to be an independent person without having to rely on, again, I'm working around with some of the top professionals of the world when you work in CBS and ABC and all that. But just being in that atmosphere and understanding what's going on helped me to understand how to be a better producer, to understand the lighting, understand the sound, understand the writing. Do you write, Chris? Do you write anything for yourself?
I do, I actually do some writing. I do game night stories for pro sports teams. I cover a number of pro sports teams. So when I'm on site at a stadium or an arena, after the game, I write a story down. So I'm not I'm kind of like a more of a sports type writer, but it's something I'm still working on. My biggest strength, I believe, is being a talk show host. But in the media industry, and you know this too, Karen, is the more you can do, you don't necessarily have to be the best at everything, but the
That
more you can do, the more valuable you become in the end.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying now, sure, you don't have to have the big broadcasting degree. You know, there are people that just get in any way they can, understand this business, work at everything, and just get in there and start something. And from there, you'll be surprised being around it, just how much you learn and absorb that you can do for yourself.
Absolutely. And I've also surrounded my inner circle with more positive people. And there are people out there that will tend to belittle what you're doing, and you just
Yes.
you can't worry about that. I try to build people up. And if I can help somebody out that's trying to get into media or broadcasting or whatever, from my experience, it's called paying it forward as well.
Yes. I'm a big advocate on staying away from negativity. You cannot be successful when you're around negative people. I don't care what anyone says. That energy can bring you down because sometimes you're uncertain about what you're doing and you want someone to be honest with you. And people aren't always honest. And people don't always want to see you achieve because they can't do it sometimes or they don't know how to do it, but they want to do it. But because you're doing it, they feel like they have to tear you down. And believe me, living in New York, and I've lived in San Francisco and LA as well, when you're in great positions, people come for you. They don't want you to have it. They see a light in you, and boy, they go right for it. So you're correct. Surround yourself with positive people. There's a saying that goes, look at your friends, you're looking at your future. Because if they're
Yep.
all negative and whatever, and you're going to constantly be around that, that's who you're going to end up being. And that
What?
includes family. Family's not always happy for you either. You have to
Well
accept.
said. Well said. Just thoughts on the term belittling, and do you find there's more belittling with the social media and the internet too?
I absolutely do. Um, because people have something they can hide behind. They don't have to see you in your face and tell you what they think about you. And I look at it this way. I recently did something on TikTok because you understand America is going through this whole change.
Yeah.
And the whole premise was to take a look at yourself and ask yourself, do you feel good about what's happening? And boy, did people, the negative people, really come for me. And I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I feel in my heart, I have to say, and I keep my light burning bright. And if you don't like it, you don't have to get on here. You don't have to look at anything I ever do. And your negative energy is not going to bring me down, and it's not going to stop me from doing what I want to do. And when I was younger, I would let things like that influence me. But now it comes with age and wisdom. It means nothing. It goes right over my head because these people are unhappy with their own lives and they're looking to tear somebody down. And it's not going to be me. I'm not going to let it happen.
Another term I wanted to use as well, and I've heard it from other people on social media, is stop playing small.
Yeah. Yep. If you have a dream or an idea, make it as big as you can get it. It's like another old saying, shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you're going to land among the stars. So if you have an ideal like what you have with your business, don't tell yourself, and you didn't, I don't have a broadcasting degree. I don't know anything about cameras. I don't know anything about, no. Say, hey, I've got a dream. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to put myself out there and hope for the best and know in my heart that it can and will happen. And it will happen. And it doesn't always have to be on this grand scale. As long as you feel happy about what you're doing, that's all that matters. For me, I want to be able to help someone out there. So if I do these little feel good stories on TikTok and give you some tips or advice about things that can be better in your life or how to change some of your bad habits. People that curse all the time, maybe they want to stop that, but they don't know how. And if there's something that I can do, if it only helps one person, then I feel good about it. Mission accomplished.
Karen, who were some of your early influences and mentors in your career earlier on?
Well, as I said, I worked at a high level around a lot of top celebrities. So and I'm not going to be name dropping, but just being in the atmosphere and watching those people as professionals and also how they treated other people as well. And it just, I was so impressed. And you do get some people that are like that, that are just jerks, but you get some really fine people that because they have that stature. They can put you down or they could do whatever, but they were still great people and nice people, really good people. So I don't want to go into names, but I think working in those atmospheres taught me that you've been blessed to have this opportunity and you can go one way or another. You could be a total jerk about it and selfish because, you are the star or whatever, or you can just be real and be pleased and happy that you do have this opportunity, and treat people right, because you never know who you made an impression on at that time. To be,
Kindness. Kindness.
yes, kindness. Or if you're a bad person and you make an impression on somebody years later, they might be in a position to
Hold that
block your
against you.
opportunity.
Kindness. It's called "Don't Burn Your Bridges" as
That's
well.
right.
And one thing too, Karen, when I started this 6 years ago, when I first started getting guests, I'm like, no way I'm not going to drop names either, but I'm like, no way this person's going to come contact me. And all of a sudden, these guys that are in professional sports leagues or media celebrities and actors, they, I guess, like my story, and they came on, and it was just amazing. And I've told them now, when I've established myself, I'm going to do the same thing to those people in the future that you guys did for me. It's called kindness, but pay it forward as well.
Yes. And just being kind enough when you're at that level of celebrity to give somebody an opportunity. Why not? Why not help somebody out?
100% Karen. And I wanted to show one of your video clips from your YouTube channel. Where can our audience find you on YouTube again so they can subscribe to your channel?
Well, I'm under not that Karen, because Karen is getting a bad name. So I'm like, I'm not that Karen. So you can find me on not that Karen on TikTok.
And on YouTube as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is courtesy of your YouTube channel, and please let me know if you can hear the audio. I'm the audio guy, so we'll just see if we can
You
get this
have a
going.
I
big
hear it.
dream that resonates in your heart, but you don't have the confidence to make it happen. If the dream keeps coming to you over and over, then maybe that's what God wants you to do or to be. And I'm here to help you. First of all, you can't achieve your dream without confidence. If you don't believe in yourself, then why should I? All confidence is believing in yourself and trusting your instincts in any situation. Now, as you build your dream, you're going to find yourself in many different kinds of situations. And eventually, you will have the big opportunity. And even if you're scared to death, you have to show up, because you can't win if you don't show up. Don't be afraid to be yourself when you get there. They're looking for you to be you. Don't try to be anyone else, and use what's different about you and use it in a positive way. Now, I'm a big person who likes to make lists. I suggest that you make a list of all of your best qualities. And after you write them down, go to your mirror and look yourself in the eye and say them out loud in the mirror. I am smart, I am talented, I am creative, whatever that is. And I also suggest that you do that daily until your confidence starts to build. You can also use positive affirmations. And if you're not sure about that, you can Google those. One other thing I suggest is get some Post-its and post it around your mirror as you start to say those things to yourself daily. Be kind to yourself, because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to be out of your comfort zone, and mistakes will happen, but you should use it as a growing period, as an opportunity to grow and learn and change. Whatever your best qualities are, you need to have enough confidence to know that they're enough to help make your dream come true. Even if you have to tell yourself, there's no one else in the world like me, and get out there and show the world why. Get out there and shine bright like a diamond.
Thank you so much, Karen. And just thoughts on this video that you posted on TikTok and YouTube.
What are my thoughts about it? A lot of the things that I post or write about are personal experiences of myself. I wish that when I auditioned trying to make it as a talk show host or as an actor with a big opportunity to me anyway, that I had someone that could give me some good advice or at least help me build my confidence when I needed it. And in fact, after I had done that video, someone wrote to me and she says, I have a big audition. So this was very helpful. And so that's what I'm about. Just trying to help somebody else learn from some of the experiences that I have. And if it helps you along the way, I'm pleased.
I nowadays I've used social media for getting into this new career in the radio and media. You hear the negative aspects of social media and these apps and stuff like that, but if you use social media the right way, it can be a very good and powerful tool. Especially, I really enjoy your TikTok page and your messages there as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, again, I just try to keep it positive. We've got so much negativity going on in the world right now. It is just getting out of control. And sometimes people just need to hear someone say, it's okay, take a deep breath. If you're all stressed out, take a walk in the park. Do something to help yourself because this kind of daily chaos can really, I mean, it can just destroy a person if they don't have themselves in check. So I want to be that helpful person that wants to hear something positive every now and again.
Mental health too. If you're
Yeah.
always in negative situations or toxic situations, it can affect your mental health as well.
Yeah, and another thing with that, since we're on that topic, you have a lot of people who have mental health issues that want to be your friend and they try to drag you into their issues and you have to watch that. Even if you're not trying to attain a goal, you need to be sure that people aren't taking advantage of your time, and people will do it. They'll waste your time. And especially if suddenly you say, hey, I want to try something different, or I'm going to try to have a dream of, like you, starting this business, or maybe I say, I want to be an actor. And they're like, you? I can't see you being, you know what I mean? They start to tear you down. You have to be aware of those kinds of people, mental issues or not. Your time is valuable, and who you give it to is very important. So make sure that you are not being taken advantage of by other people. It's important to know the signs of that.
Speaking of that, Karen, what are a couple of signs people should be leery of?
Well, I'll give you an example. Sometimes when you have friends that want your time, I'll give you an example of people that want to waste your time, and maybe it's harmless, but you say, hey, like I'll say today, I'm not going to talk to anyone tonight because I'm going to be on a show tomorrow. I need my rest. I need to go through my thoughts of what we're going to talk about. Well, suddenly somebody's knocking on your door that you just told, I want to be alone tonight. I don't want any visitors tonight. They show up even after you tell them. Okay. Or you're working on your own thing and they won't give you a minute to do it. They'll start asking you all kind of questions. Say a family member, where's this? Where's that? It's to deter you, to get you off of what you've set your mind to do, but they don't feel comfortable that now you set your mind to achieve a goal, or maybe you're going in another direction. They're used to having your time. They expect to have your time, and they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that they stop you from achieving. It might be conscious and it may not, but you have to understand that your time is valuable. With women, a lot of times you get the love drama. Oh, he loves me not. And they want to talk about it. And you've already said, hey, I can't do it tonight. I've got something that I've got planned for me. And they're used to having you, there as a sounding board. Again, some people act like they don't even hear what you just said because it's all about them, but it's not. It's about you. And sometimes you have to stand up and tell them, hey, this is my time. It's for me. And it can be hard, especially with family. It can be hard, but you have to do it. If you really have a big dream in your heart, don't let anybody or anything get in the way to stop it.
Karen, since I started this new career switch back in 2020, my inner circle has shrunk, but I'm actually happier because I'm now surrounding myself with people that want to see me succeed and do well instead of people that want to drag me down.
And that's, you are doing the absolute right thing there. Surround yourself by like minded people. And like you said, once they see that you're serious about what you're doing, they don't want you to achieve it or they're afraid of change themselves, suddenly they'll disappear. They won't be in your life anymore. They won't come around you because you're doing something that makes them feel uncomfortable. But it's not about them, it's about you and what you want to do. And if you have true friends and people that are really sincere about being your friend and are true and honest, then they'll be okay with whatever you're doing. They'll be there.
And one thing too, Karen, I want to say this too. I know everyone talks about family and blood related, but to me, family is not necessarily always blood related.
That's right.
It's people that actually generally like you, support you in good and bad times. And the biggest thing is they don't judge you no matter what.
That's right. Well, they say all skin folk are not kin folk, right? They're not, just because they say they're your kin doesn't necessarily mean that they really want to see you be successful or achieve whatever you want. And it's about them. None of it's about you. That's the first thing you got to understand. It's something going on with them. It's the jealousy or the insecurity or the fear moving forward or the change or whatever it is. But you have to, that's half the battle of being successful. You got to be able to wade through the nonsense and keep moving because the people that are really supposed to be there with you on this journey will be with you on this journey. People come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And you will know if you keep staying on your course, they'll drop out when they're supposed to. I am a big believer in God. Some people are not. I am. I believe that every opportunity and every good thing that has happened to me, and some of the bad things I thought turned out to be good things later, you know, was because of my Heavenly Father protecting me and looking out for me. And so I tend to use that in some of my videos. I mention it. Not everybody's religious. I get it. But for me, that works. That works for me.
Karen, can you just tell us a little bit about your career as a public speaker? And from your experience, what makes a good public speaker in 2025? And I just recently, in the last year and a half, volunteer with an organization here, and I go to high schools and talk to high school kids about the importance of education in the classroom, but also education outside the classroom, as well as you don't have to pick a career as a teenager and stick with it your whole life.
Again, for me, it's at this point, it's mostly local things. And I like to let the young people know because I like to keep the positivity around building some kind of career or where you're going with your life. And just to be able to give the same kind of pointers. Some teenagers don't have the confidence. Some teenagers are getting bullied by their friends. And so I try to keep it in a positive way that don't let your friends stop you from what you want to do. Don't be shy. Speak your mind if you have to speak your mind. So I like to go down those lines and try to also encourage them to pay attention to who's around you, the negativity. You got a big scholarship to go somewhere. Now your friends are trying to get you to go out and drink all night or go out and get in trouble. That's going to affect your future. So you need to stop and think about some of those things. So basically, just trying to let them know how to be aware of negative things that aren't going to help them with their future.
What are your thoughts on bullying? There's always been bullying around. I was born in the 70s, so I experienced it too. But do you find bullying has grown over the decades, especially with the internet and social media nowadays?
Yeah, I definitely think that it's a big problem. But also, I think that in trying to encourage teens to have more self-confidence, that bullying can be stopped in the regards of, if you are self-confident, bullies don't really go to those kind of people, do they? They go to
No.
the shy ones. They go, to the ones that they think that they can take advantage of. And so having this confidence, which is great in what I'm saying and talking to teenagers about, and believing in themselves, is a big thing. I think there's more that could and should be done from the schools, the institutions themselves, on the bullying, because it's not a joke. We have kids that are taking their lives. And I also say some of that comes from home as well. You've got to instill some things with your children also. But if they're going to an institution, I do put a lot of the responsibility on the institution.
Absolutely, and I've gone through it as well. And you even see it. Everybody thinks of bullying as for kids in schools and stuff like that, but
No,
I've seen bullying in workplaces with adults, supervisors, management as well, people in positions of authority too.
no, absolutely. Like I said, I'm just putting a video on the other day, and I have all of these mega people saying, I'm happy with this, and you're that, and I'm a strong personality, so I'm like, I could, say whatever you want, because I don't care, because I'm going to put on what I want to put on. You don't have to be here. But not everybody's like that. I've had a very good friend who in college, her boyfriend was a stalker, straight out stalker, because she was kind of a quiet woman. And I think with bullying, some people can pick up on that energy and try to take advantage of the person. So, again, you just have to be able to stand up for yourself. So, talk to people. Don't keep it a secret. You know, um, Let it be known that this person is intimidating, because I think they get away with it because not enough is being done. And the more you keep it a secret, the bigger it gets. The same with my friend. We had no idea at some point that this man in college was doing this, because she was afraid to tell anyone from the embarrassment or shame or whatever. But I think you've got to speak out. You got to stand up, because bullies are just big babies. It's like you punch one in the nose, you never hear from them again.
100% communication, and also listening to people who are being bullied. If they try to talk to you and you don't listen to them, then they're going to just kind of not say anything. So communication and listening are huge, and
Reporting.
reporting, document as well.
Yes, and on the side of the person being bullied, it's the fear, which is the false evidence appearing real, right? He's going to punch me, he's going to hit me. Is he? They like to work off the fear of what the person thinks they're going to do. And a lot of times it doesn't ever come to the blows, but they've got you so, they've intimidated you so that the fear is bigger than the actual act itself. Not always, but sometimes, if you know what I'm trying to say here.
Karen, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Have you thought about writing a book about your experiences? And also, would you look at maybe in the future doing a podcast show as well on these subjects?
I have thought about writing a book. Now I was thinking that the book could be, since I've done quite a few, not a lot, but enough of these little positive stories on TikTok, of making a book around each one of them. And I have thought about a podcast. I hadn't thought about a subject or anything, but it's just a thought in my mind. I like to write down things uh, that I would like to do in the future. Again, dreaming big. Okay. So right now, someone would say all you have is a few 2 or 3 minute stories on TikTok. Well, to me, I'm like, well, hey, you got a podcast, you can write a book, you can keep going with the motivational speaking. I mean, just don't settle for just one type of thing. Let's see how it can grow. It's like a plant. It's a seed. Let's put a seed and see what we can do with it. So my future now is sure. I'm thinking about a book already, especially to go along with the public speaking. Because a lot of times after those speeches, people still want to have some of those tips in their hands. They can hear it, but at least there it's there. Look in the mirror, different things that you are telling them at the moment. Now they can take it home for themselves. So yeah, those are a couple of things that I'm thinking of.
I've already got names for you for the book Dream Big,
Oh,
and your podcast, the Dream Big Podcast.
well, I like it. I
And
like
maybe
it.
even a t shirt and maybe a coffee mug.
I like it.
I should, speaking of branding, I have my own mug, my own.
Nice. And I have seen that on your TikTok page.
Yes,
Great.
yes. So branding and marketing is huge in whatever career you're in as well. So
Yeah, I like that. I like the name and thank you for that. I'm going to start meditating on that. Do you meditate?
no, but I have had a meditation teacher on my show. I should put you in touch with her. She's a stand-up comedian, but she's a meditation teacher. Her name is Paula Jane Newman. She's out of Los Angeles, originally from the UK. I should put you in touch with Paula Jane Newman
Wow.
because she teaches meditation, but she also uses it through clean stand-up comedy as well.
Nice.
And she's got a point here. Comedy is cheaper than going to seeing a shrink.
Isn't that the truth?
Public speaking. I'm going to ask you this about public speaking because I'm doing more of it myself. What is your biggest advice for those people who are looking to do some public speaking from your experience?
Well, I would say, and it's not easy, just start small. See if anybody will let you get up there and speak publicly. Your church, if you got something to say, maybe the school, a local organization. If that's something that you think you want to do, I think you should try it first to see if it's really what you want to do. And the reason I say that, I always thought I want to be a news anchor. I want to be a news. Well, I'm not really a news person. I'm more of I'm more of a talk show host. I'm more of something light, nothing heavy, because I am an empath, and so I have a lot of feelings of other people's feelings. So I'm pretty much a sensitive soul, but I thought that it was something that absolutely was not anything like what I thought it would be. So sometimes you got to try it out because we all have dreams, right? That we think this is what we want to do, but we don't know it until we try it. So I would say just try it out locally. See if somebody will let you get up there and say what you have to say, and then take it from there. And there are courses and different things to help you get, in a bigger arena. But I'm a big fan of just let somebody see if somebody will let you do it and see if it's really your thing, how it feels trying it on.
Here's the fun fact about me. When I was in elementary school, high school, even college, I hated public speaking. I would contract in front of an audience. And as soon as I went into my career in security, I was in security for 2 decades and I was dealing with all walks of life in a casino type environment. I learned how to gain confidence with speaking to people, listening to them, thinking on my feet. So my former career has really helped me with my public speaking skills. And the more I do of this show or my live in-person interviews, the more comfortable you get. Not complacent, but you get more comfortable behind the
Yeah.
camera. And I've reinvented myself. So if I can go from hating public speaking to this, anybody can do it. And I just think my life experiences have helped me with what I'm doing now.
Yeah, and you said something key there, and that's part of what I've been saying all along with my life experiences. You were in a situation at the casinos where you just started talking to people. Same with me waiting on tables. It just made me become very comfortable with having a conversation with anyone. And for me, it was more than just taking the order, because when people come out, they come out to have a good time. And if you can help that person and their family have a great experience, then that's all it is. It's just being relaxed and communicating. And you learn, hey, if I can do that with them, I can sit in someone that's in a higher position to give me a job as a talk show host or whatever, because now I feel comfortable. I've had so much experience just doing it.
Karen, how much did being a waiter, a waitress, help you with being an actor as well?
Great. It was so invaluable, invaluable. In the regards, again, that feeling comfortable with speaking, public speaking, and just absorbing everyday life, just people in their natural environments, in that they're out just to have dinner, so they're not, it's not a fancy dinner, it's just a family dinner, so they're being very real. And that's all an actress can really want, is to be as real as possible, and just observing the mannerisms and the behaviors, and sometimes just the language patterns helps to build a character.
Can you tell us about some of the roles that you've been in, and how would you describe Karen Wilson as an actor?
Oh, I've just done, like I said, a lot of local theater. Me as it's always a part of myself that hides behind the character. So once I have the basics about the character and the experience of, excuse me, of living in cities like New York City and San Francisco and LA, um, it helps me to be as real as possible. I tune into the experience of what that was like when I was in this city, or I met these people. You almost always meet these characters. You have met them somewhere along the line. And so it is the character, but it is you and that experience behind it. For me, that's how it works.
What are your thoughts on the theater today nowadays?
I mean, I like it. I still really like public theater. I just love it. It's natural, it's real. When you're up there, you're feeling the audience, and you get a lot from that. You get a lot of energy out of that. I'm hoping, and like I said, I'm in a small area, so I do things over in Louisville. It's a big city for me. Um, I'm hoping that we can sustain it for years to come, because everything is so digital now, and it's so, and of course I love movies and television shows and all that, but there's nothing like that personal experience of being at the theater, a live audience.
As much as I love doing this virtual talk show, now the last couple years I've been doing in-person interviews when I'm at events. There's nothing better than being in person at a live event, theater, movie, or whatever. And I wanted to get your thoughts on this too. What are your thoughts on live streaming and digital shrinking the movie theaters, and look at the newspaper industry too nowadays?
Wow. Well, I think it's all part of the changing times. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it per se. It's just part of evolution. It's the changing times. It's where we are. Now, the tricky part is for us in our lifetimes, we remember, I remember when television first came out, right? So look at from where television started to where television is now. I mean, you watch TV. I remember when television, you could watch TV all night. The cable was finally going to be 24 hours, and we just shot just like that. So, it's just part of the evolution. But in some ways, television has taken the socialization of others away from us. We watch too much TV. We don't communicate like we used to. We don't have the human touch like we used to. So
Social skills have diminished.
social skills, the computer took a lot of things out, including the newspaper. Okay, because I forgot, I actually worked at the Oakland Tribune when I was in California for a short period of time. But this whole digital computer has changed humanity in a way that it's like anything else. It's good and it's bad. It's good because look at all the stuff we see and do and blah, 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 but it's bad. We're not talking to each other. We're hiding behind machinery now. That's bad.
And I can remember the days when I was looking for jobs that you would take your resume, an
Yeah.
application, you dress up and walk or drive to these companies. And now it's like, no, you have to email and everything's now digital now. And these people that look at your resume and applications are AI. AI has changed how people look for jobs
Yes.
nowadays too.
And I like that's why I say it's good and it's bad. I like the old fashioned way because just about any job I ever walked into, I got because I had a chance to sit down with another human being and look them in the eye.
And nowadays you can't.
And now you can't. If you have to fit the algorithm, you have to have something on that resume that fits with that, or they don't even see you.
Certain word, and I'm in my opinion, I can speak for myself and maybe being in Canada, but I find more and more people are going to the self-employed route.
I think it might be the way to go in the future. Unfortunately, that might be the way to go because we started having all these issues with in the workplace. You don't know if somebody's carrying a gun in there, or sometimes, depending on where you work, people, like you said, can be bullies. Your bosses can be rude and bully, and you know, people were so fed up with that finally, when unfortunately COVID happened, and it changed everything. People got a chance to breathe for a minute. They don't want to go to the office anymore. They don't want to put up with all the crap in some of these places, the bullying and making you work overtime. And they've got families and they've got kids and they're not spending time with their children. And COVID just shut it all down and it made a lot of people sit down and think. And I tell you right now, we're moving so fast with all this electrical digital world that we're in, and it's too much for some people. It is just straight out too much. We're just going too fast.
When I go to sporting events now as non-media, like as a fan, a lot of these sporting places, and I can assume the states too, they don't accept cash anymore, and all the tickets are digitally. If you don't have a smartphone nowadays, you're lost in this society.
Now think about that. Think about someone that's our mother's ages.
Yes.
They're not always on the computer. Some of them just aren't even on the computer, but they expect them to know stuff on the computer, and that blows my mind. I feel sorry for some of these elderly people that don't have anyone to represent them or to help them because they're getting lost in time. Basically, they're just getting lost or falling through the cracks of all this digital stuff.
I wonder what it's going to be like 25, 30 years from now.
Well, we'll be the ones asking for help.
Yes.
If we even understand. I mean, you watch the kids now, it's like they come to this earth and they already know what to do with the computer.
Before the age of 5.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yes.
So, I mean, but we're part of the transition of the old, because like you said, we could take our resume and talk ourselves into a job or whatever. That somebody's going to be like probably even 5 years from now, and be like, what? Talk to kids now about the telephone. The very first telephone. Look how fast the telephone took off. Wow. Now everybody has a phone.
I remember the old rotary phones back in the 70s.
And how much long distance used to cost?
Big time money back then.
And we were fine. We could go all day without not talking to anyone and not worrying about missing a call. When you talk to people now, they cannot be 5 minutes without their telephone.
And you see it in the workplace too, where
Yeah.
people can't go more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes at work without using their phones. And I'm like,
Yeah. And in our lifetime, look at the evolution of that telephone. We
even
got
in the last 5 years.
pictures and yeah, we got everything on a phone. A computer is on our phone. A camera is on our phone. I remember Polaroids, that was a big deal that we could, wait a few seconds and finally see the picture without having to send it somewhere.
And everywhere you go now, you're recorded. If not by a business's camera, somebody out there with their phone is always recording out there too.
That is the absolute truth. So, I mean, we're moving fast. People don't realize, and people are not understanding what's going on. They go, "Wow, time is really flying." Yeah, it's flying because we've got all these visuals that we never had before. These opportunities to see what everybody else in the world is doing. We never had that before.
Karen, can I just get your thoughts on being an entrepreneur and what are some challenges that you faced as an entrepreneur in your career?
Well, I'm still at the beginning stages of a lot of things, but just the organization of it all and just the fear of, okay, this is now your responsibility, right? It is either going to work or it's not going to work because you are the sole person that is behind this. And, telling yourself, building up your confidence for me, now it just might not be for other people, that you can do it and it's going to work and it's going to happen. And, it's work. It's like anything else. You have to put the time and the effort into it to make it work. And I really believe the way things are going, especially in America, you better have your own business. You better have something going for you because people don't go to work 40 hours anymore. They don't have to, right? So if they're laying all these people off, you better figure out a way to make a living. Where are you going to get the money from? The government here in America has taken so many things, and I'm not saying you need to rely on the government, but the government used to be, a helping hand to you till you could get things straightened out. Well, if all the jobs are being taken, and then all of the programs that would give you food assistance or health benefits till you can get on your feet, well, how are you getting on your feet if you don't have a job? So you better figure out how you're going to live in the future. And it may not be overnight, but down the line, you're going to have to come up with something. I think you're going to have to come up with some kind of way to be able to take care of yourself. And TikTok's a perfect example. And a lot of other things are perfect examples. eBay's an example. Some people just sell their stuff on eBay, but they have an extra income. You're not going to be able to go to a building to get your income anymore, I don't think. Not for a while, if they're going to keep laying people off.
Karen, do you think the school system in not just the States but Canada and around the world should teach entrepreneurship to high school kids and maybe about budgeting and economics too for
I
these
think
kids?
that's a big part of what's missing and has been missing for years. And I remember in high school, they had a few little clubs that you could join that would teach you about starting your own business, being an entrepreneur, and things like that. Sure. But I think the schools now have to teach kids some of the basics, how to manage your checking account, how to manage a budget, things like that. I think that's what's missing in a lot of the schools because you get the classes, but when you get out and you have to pay your rent and you have to manage your money and you have to, save money for the rainy day, those are the basic necessities that I don't think a lot of schools they even bother with. They just assume that they're going to learn it from their household, and that's not necessarily true.
It should start in the household, but I think it should be in the school system too at a certain
Yeah, but
age.
I'm saying that in the household, it's not necessarily true that their parents are going to sit them down and teach them that. It
I,
depends on the parent. They might be working all the time. They may, I don't know what the issue is, but it's not universal. It's not a
I, wa-
given.
I was one of the lucky ones where I learned early on in life about the value of a dollar and how to save and invest money.
That is the lucky one. There are
I
some
bought
kids. I'm sorry,
I
go
bought
ahead.
I was going to say I bought life insurance when I was 19 and I started investing money when I was 22, 23.
So you are exception to the rule. There are some kids that don't even know how, well, they're learning different skills now, but they don't even know. Um, I'll use this as an example, but it's starting to die out too. But how to even fill out a check to put in the bank or write a check. Well, that's dying as well, but that's just an example of, because their parents might do it, they don't always pass on the basic knowledge. When I was in school, we had home economics, and I loved it. I took to it just like that. Well, they don't teach that anymore. And some of these girls don't know how to sew, make a hem. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to do some of the basic things that you need in life to survive. They don't have it. They don't do it. They don't know how.
Karen, if you got Karen, are you still good for a little more time, a few more minutes, a few
Sure,
more questions?
sure.
Can you just tell our audience a little bit about how you became a positive advocate and some of your content on your TikTok page?
Well, I just look at myself as a positive person. I always have. And I'm the type of person that people will come to if they have an issue or a problem. And I try to give them the best advice that I can. And it seems that's just who I am, with the wisdom and the positivity. And as I was saying, we have so much negativity going on right now. It's just unbelievable. And negativity seems to be winning the day. When I grew up, people were positive and they had morals, and they didn't they weren't so selfish. They wanted to help people, and I'm not saying everyone. There's still people that do help, but just to say something nice to someone or to say hello to someone, you would be surprised what a big difference that makes. They might be having the worst day ever, and just a smile or to say hi or a word of encouragement goes a long way. And it's just who I am as a person. I try to always keep it on the positive end. Stay positive with it.
How we met was through TikTok, and I met you through your content and your positivity, and that's what attracted me to you.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's important. We need it now more than ever.
Kindness
And
is free.
kindness is free. And I worry about our children, especially in America, with all of the things that you see in our government. That is not a role model
No.
for your kids. That's not good. I used to be an athlete in high school and college. I was a hurdler and a sprinter.
Wow.
And yeah, I have a lot of little stories about me people don't always know. But through being an athlete, I learned a lot of positivity, a lot of confidence, and it was important for me, and it has helped me in so many different areas of my life. Set a goal and stick to the goal. Be positive about the goal. Be determined. Be a teammate. Help someone else get with their goal. Give them some encouragement. And I feel like a lot of these things that our youth just aren't getting for their futures. They're not getting positive values in their lives. Sure, you have your churches, which I'm not sure what's going on with church anymore behind this whole thing that's going on in America, because the church is getting into politics and it's making things really weird. But yeah, I just think about our kids. They don't have I don't see really good role models for them now. And I'm not saying because you're a celebrity that you have to be a role model. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that no one's really encouraging the children to be good people. You don't have to cheat. I don't like a cheater. To win, you don't have to do that. There are no shortcuts. You have to learn how to start from A to Z, and it's going to be painful and it's going to be up and down, but in the end, you're going to be a better person and a happier person in the long run, and you're going to know so much more than if you just take the shortcut. So, those kind of things have been on my mind a lot.
I think mental health overall in the world is diminishing as well.
Yeah. I mean, in America now, they're saying they're going to uh, push the homeless away and not, take them off the streets or whatever. But I'm scared that I hope the homeless aren't going to be guinea pigs for something sinister, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Because they do have mental problems, but that doesn't mean that you have a right to punish them. Where is the kindness? Where is I don't
too much.
know.
There's too much hate out there.
Yes, too much
Too much
evil.
hate.
For sure. So you want to keep it positive at all times as much as possible. It's no one can be positive all the time. No one is happy all the time. We know that, but you can keep it positive as much as possible. Like I said, smile at someone, say good morning to someone, say hello to someone. It's free. Yeah, like you said, it's free. And it makes you feel good. I feel good when I do something to help someone else. I feel great
Absolutely.
about it.
And I've been volunteering. I've been volunteering a big part of my life for the last 30 years. I've been a big brother. I've been involved with humane societies, and I also now do some public speaking for high schools. So I feel volunteering and giving back to your community and to groups and to animals is what we need more of.
Yeah, we definitely need more of that. I don't know. Just we were talking about the digital age. I signed up for this one company, and I'm not going to be saying names, and to have money taken out of my account, on a monthly basis to help feed the hungry. And shortly, right after that, within a few days, and I'm not saying it's the company, but someone in that computer system is somehow tagged on to that company. I suddenly get a call from my account saying someone just ordered like $60 worth of nonsense. And it just kind of broke my heart. It's like I'm trying to help feed people that could be starving. And there's somebody that has latched onto these people's account somehow because I know it was them. Because all of a sudden, after I do that, I get this call from my bank going, someone just ordered $60 worth of I don't something I would never buy anyway. And it
Digital
just
fraud, digital
y-
fraud, and I didn't mean to interrupt you, Karen, but last year,
yes.
last year I took my elderly mom to a Walmart, and she went in ahead of me because I had to do something in my car. And when I met her in the grocery into Walmart, she told me her purse got stolen. I said, "How did that happen?" She said these two young men came up to her, asked her to look up at a shelf, and then they opened up her purse
Oh,
and they took her wallet. And within minutes, they used her debit and credit cards right away. So she obviously had to call the bank, cancel the credit card, debit card, and then she had to go through the process of getting some new ID because these guys. It's nowadays they call it a distraction theft, and they target people that are older and whatever
oh,
male they target older males and females, and I'm sure you have that in the states as well.
yeah. But you know what I mean? It's like everything is so much negativity on the computer, off the computer. I mean, your mom's just going to the store. You got these kids targeting elderly people. It's just too much. We need more positivity. We need to find our way again. I think we're lost. I don't know if all that's digital or whatever has contributed to it or not, but I feel like we're off track in the world right now.
We need to shrink the negativity, but that starts with everybody, including the government, without getting into politics.
Exactly. And then go back to digital. These kids see a lot of negative stuff on television. I remember like in the 70s, it was a lot of sex. If you watched a lot of movies, you'd always see the girls' bodies, but then it switched to turn to more violence. So if you watch a lot of movies going forward, it's always the shooting somebody up, and it
Yeah.
makes an impression on your mind, and particularly on a young mind.
I
But this
grew
is
up
where we are.
I grew up in the 70s, and a lot of it was watching Sesame Street and good positive programming back in the 70s.
Well, they took
And
care of that. They're cutting
yes.
that out in America.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
think about some of the movies in the 70s though, and the 80s and the 90s. And as you go through the genres, it's become more and more violent.
Violent. Yes.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
I think that leads to why these kids think it's easy to pick up a gun and go to a school. Something's
And
wrong, so I'm going to shoot my.
and unfortunately, guns are in Canada too. Like, we have tough gun laws, but unfortunately, some of the bad people are smuggling them into our country as well. So we have issues. We're a much smaller country than the U.S., but we have our issues here too in Canada.
Oh, yeah. It's
It's I
just
I think it's
global.
worldwide. Yeah, global. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, Karen, before we wrap up this show, I usually do this with my guests at the end of a show. And what are some fun facts or a fun fact about Karen Wilson?
Oh boy, kind of put me on the spot. Well, I like to laugh and I like to have fun. I do. Fun fact about Karen. I don't know. I mean, I am a lover of the arts. So if that's just going to a museum or going to the opera or music, art, those kind of things just turn me on, man. So I would say, fun fact about me is I really love the arts.
How tall are you?
About 5'4", not very tall.
Okay,
I look
so
taller. Everyone goes, "Oh, you look taller than you are." But I'm about 5'4" and change.
you're about my height now.
Yeah, neither
Soon
one
you,
of us are on phone books.
not yet, not me, anyways.
We won't have a phone book to get on in the next couple of years.
That's true. You don't see them anymore. Just like payphones have disappeared too.
Yes, well, they've been gone out of here. Rarely do you run across a payphone. Yeah, so I don't know. I just love life. I love people. Just live and let live. That's my motto.
You mentioned about cooking. What are some of your favorite items to cook?
Oh, I love Italian food. I like to make
Okay.
a good pasta, but I do really good soul food. I can make soul food too, or I can take it in a gourmet direction as well. But just love cooking. Just it's relaxing, and when you sit down with your friends and have a good meal, there's nothing better than a good meal and great conversation.
I'm actually taking a monthly cooking class myself because I got into a habit of eating out so much. Doing media work,
Hmm.
I work different hours, odd hours, and sometimes I'm tired, so I take the lazy way out. So now I'm taking a once a month cooking class as well. And I love pasta, so anytime you cook pasta, lasagna, anything like that, I'm on my way over.
Yeah, well, good because that's my favorite thing to cook is Italian food. What's your
Absolutely.
favorite food?
Lasagna, pizza, pasta. I do like steak and potatoes, but I know I'm not Italian, but I look Italian, and I love lasagna, I love pasta, I love pizza, and you know what? Homemade cooking is the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Since it's summer and we're talking about food, ice cream, hard or soft ice cream?
Well, I, that's pretty much a tie for me.
For
It's
me,
it's it's a tie for me
uh,
because I can go either way with that because I just love ice cream. So
for
that's a
for
tie.
for me, it's hard ice cream. I like the soft stuff, but I like the hard ice cream.
Now, do you like barbecue? I can barbecue pretty good too.
I'm on my way over right now.
I like to barbecue as
Yes,
well.
nothing better than having a barbecue in the summertime.
Yeah.
What's your favorite item to barbecue?
Oh, I can do barbecue ribs. I like to do barbecue pork chops too. Um, yeah, mostly in the South, it's about the ribs, you know. So it's a contest to who has the tastier barbecue ribs. So barbecuing ribs in this area is a big deal when you get in the
What's
South.
what about the sauce? I find the sauces isn't just as important. Do you make your own sauce?
I like to do the dry rub. I do my own dry rub for the ribs, and they can pick whatever sauce they want to put on it. But that's where it is for me. That's the fun part is creating the dry rub.
Now I'm hungry.
I shouldn't have said that, but yeah, we started talking about food, and it's summer, and so yeah, we do a lot of barbecuing near Kentucky.
Favorite summer drink?
I like sangria. That's my favorite summer drink. If I drink wine, it's sangria. And I do like green tea.
For me, it's lemonade or iced tea in the summertime.
Yeah, I like green teas a lot, cold green teas, and wine. I don't really do much
Oh
drinky
yeah,
drinks.
I gotta put you on the spot here since you haven't been to Canada yet. What's one thing you know about Canada?
Well, let's see. Share it with Buffalo, Niagara Falls. Yeah, I
That's
know
true.
that, and that Quebec speaks French, right?
Yes,
Mainly in there, and I'd like to see Toronto. I'd like to come up there in the fall. I heard it's beautiful there
yes,
in the
yes,
fall, and
yes.
that's
If
my favorite time of the year, the
yeah,
fall.
same here. The sweatshirt hoodie weather.
Yeah, and the pretty
Absolutely.
trees. I love the
Yes,
colors.
and football too. Do you like sports too?
I like sports a lot. I watch a lot of sports.
Okay,
Yep.
who's your teams? Who do you like?
Well, now I was the Ravens, but that hurt is pretty cute and pretty good. So I think I might be getting over there with the Eagles
I'm an
this year.
Eagles fan, by the way. Big Jalen Hurts fan. Go Birds!
Yeah.
And yes, I'm Eagles fan. And you know what? Jalen Hurts is a talented player, but you know what's more importantly? Doing media work, I get to interview these guys and you get to know them, and it's not just about the talent on the field, it's about the character off the field. To me, it's as important for them to be as good character as on the row. And Jalen Hurts, the reason why I like him is not just because he's talented on the field, but he does a lot of community work. He's good with people, and he's a sincere person. And I think that's what we need more in professional sports too. Good
Yeah.
characters.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that about Jalen. Yeah, I've read a few things about him. He's also a fraternity guy. I was in a sorority when I was in college and still pretty much am. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of great things about that guy. So I'm like,
Absolutely.
I think I'm going to switch and go with the Eagles. But I do like the Ravens a
They're a
lot.
good team. Lamar Jackson's a good guy too.
Lamar, he played
He's
here in Louisville. So that's why I
yes,
like them. He went to U
yes,
of L. So
yeah.
we've seen him before, you know.
I got a root for him too. As long as they're not playing the Eagles,
Yeah,
Lamar
right.
Jackson is somebody I really enjoy, and I'm hoping one day to get to interview him as well.
I hope you do too, because he's a pretty great guy. He gives a lot as well.
Hey, Karen, as we wrap this up, this is a new segment I just started about a month ago. It's called Ask the Host Myself, CDP, a question segment. Do you have a question to put me on the hot seat before we wrap up?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Either with my build, either in a radio station with my own show, or having more corporate sponsorships for this show and continue to grow. I love what I'm doing, and if the traditional radio stations doesn't work out, I want to keep building what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. I've done over 1,300 interviews virtually and in person, and I pride myself on here. I love it. Even though there's days where I'm not 100%, soon as I come on air with my guests or I'm at a sporting event or covering a social event, soon as I'm around people and I'm talking to people, my adrenaline kicks in and I'm really passionate about this. And I can tell, Karen, how passionate that you are as well.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I wish you nothing but the very best, and it will happen. And I can't wait to see you there.
Absolutely. And
Mhm.
Karen, I want to say, before we wrap this up, I want to say thank you so much for giving us over an hour of your time and for being patient on getting onto the show. And I'm really glad I met you through TikTok and continue success. And where can our audience follow you on social media and the best way of contacting you? And do you have any theater roles or acting roles coming up soon too?
Not at this time. Sometimes in the fall, I will get involved in something, but I'm not going to be doing it this fall. As I said, my mother is sick right now, and so I've been helping her and taking care of her. So probably in the spring, I'll may get back into another production. But right now, I'm on TikTok. You can find me on TikTok mostly for the time being, and I'll be out in the local area, and people know who I am for that. So,
Okay, well, Karen, I want to say again, thank you so much for coming on here today. And you have an open invite to come back on again in the future. And maybe one day you'll be talking to us about your book or your podcast show, because I think you're a natural talent on camera as well.
well, thank you very much, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Make sure you say hi to your mom, look after her, and definitely we'll keep in touch on social media as well.
All right.
All
All
right.
right. Well, you
Thank you.
take care.
Thank you so much, Karen. And give me a little bit of time this afternoon. I'll send you the full video, the audio, and I will edit the video into 30, 40-second clips. And I will tag you in on TikTok as well. Are you on Instagram by any chance or just TikTok?
I'm not on Instagram.
Okay. So TikTok, I'll tag you in then.
All right, then. Thanks again. I appreciate it. We'll
Thank
be
you
in
so
touch,
much.
my friend.
Definitely. And I'm looking forward to a barbecue one day.
All right. My pleasure there.
Okay. Thank you so much, Karen. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Karen. All right, everybody, that wraps up season 11, episode 26, overall 576 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph. Before we wrap up the show, guys, the next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by BarryCullen.com, is going to be on Thursday, August 22nd at 11:30 a.m. Eastern with my special guest, Mary Morgan. She is a voiceover artist out of Los Angeles, California. And at 2 o'clock, Sean Belegian, a longtime Detroit radio and media personality and now hosting the morning show on Woodward Sports. Sean Belegian will be on 2 o'clock Thursday to talk Detroit Tigers with us. So again, Thursday, August 22nd, we're going to have two shows. 11:30 a.m. with Mary Morgan, a voiceover artist out of Los Angeles, and at 2 p.m., Sean Belegian from Woodward Sports and a longtime Detroit media and radio personality. And we're going to talk Detroit Tigers as well. And I want to say thank you to my guest today, Karen Wilson, for coming on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. As we wrap up this show, guys, there's an employee pricing event going on at Barry Cullen Chevrolet right now. A 2025 Silverado LD Custom Blackout Edition lease from $178 bi-weekly. That's like $89 weekly. Has 3.9% financing for 24 months with $4,995 down payment on an ultra low kilometer lease. Includes a $5,126 employee pricing credit. More details at barrycullen.com or drop by the dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Gulf Automall. Tell them Chris Palme sent you. And Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership here in Guelph. Great products, great customer service, so please check them out. Speaking of content, I am on cameo.com. If you'd like a personalized video message from yours truly, go to cameo.com, type in Chris Palme. I do happy birthday wishes, happy anniversary, pep talks. If you want to ask me questions about my talk shows, my sports work, or my favorite interviews, go to cameo.com/Chris Palme and book your cameo today. And as we wrap up this show, guys, you can also find me on Blue Sky Social. Blue Sky Social is sort of like what TikTok or Twitter used to be. I'm on Blue Sky Social at Live with CDP19. At Live with CDP19 on Blue Sky Social if you'd like to follow me there as well. And as for Karen Wilson, or my guest, you can follow her on TikTok at kwilson4715yahoo.com. If you'd like to follow Karen Wilson, my guest, on TikTok, kwilson4715yahoo.com. If you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge District Humane Society, 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. Telephone number 519-623-7722, extension 0, or visit their website at cambridgehumanesociety.org. All the animals that are up for adoption, their profiles are on cambridgehumanesociety.org. And if you're looking to volunteer there, go through their website process as well. And shout out to Freshco Delta at 1 Hespeler Road in Cambridge. They did a fundraiser this past Saturday for the Cambridge District Humane Society. Michelle Glatley from the Cambridge Humane Society was there, and I want to give a shout out to the Freshco store manager, Chris, and her staff for coming out there. They sold some barbecued hot dogs and pop as a fundraiser, so please check out the Freshco grocery store in Cambridge at 1 Hespeler Road there as well. And the Cambridge District Humane Society every Wednesday has a pet emergency fund. So if you have dog food, cat food, pet food that you're not using, please consider dropping it off at the Cambridge District Humane Society, 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge. It's right across from the Cambridge Centre Mall. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is live streamed on these platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. And please make sure you follow and subscribe. My website, if you'd like to check it out, is beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars or live streaming or podcasting, check out StreamYard.com. They have basic free plans, paid professional plans like I do. And if you're a business that does a lot of webinars, live streaming, click on StreamYard.com and contact their sales department as well. And yours truly has been with StreamYard now for 4.5 years, and I give StreamYard a big thumbs up. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, the audio version is on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Casts, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, TuneIn, YouTube Music, and Good Pods. Please follow and subscribe and listen in as well. Finally, guys, you can email Live with CDP Sports Entertainment Talk Show at cpalme19@gmail.com. Any comments, questions, suggestions, feedback would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you want to support my work on my YouTube channel or my talk shows, you really like my media content, I am on PayPal. You can PayPal me at cpalme19@gmail.com if you'd like to support my YouTube channel and all my media work through social media as well. Finally, guys, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Threads, Instagram, LinkedIn, Blue Sky, everywhere except Snapchat. And also consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and share. And I want to say thank you to my 673 subscribers. And I'm at just under 500,000 views. So thank you everyone for subscribing and watching Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. And as we wrap up this show, guys, the Intercounty Baseball League this year, which I've followed this year, and I've done some freelance media work with the Kitchener Panthers. The Intercounty Baseball League, which is been around in Ontario since 1919, has 9 teams in the league. They set a regular season attendance record this year. 218,648 fans around the 9 teams. Congratulations to the Intercounty Baseball League. You can follow their website at theibl.ca. theibl.ca, and the team that I do some freelance media coverage of, the Kitchener Panthers, are in the first round, best of 5 against the number 1 seed Welland Jackfish. The first game is this Thursday at Welland at 7:15. Game 2 is back in Kitchener this Friday at 7:30. Saturday at Welland at 6:05. Next Tuesday in Kitchener on the 26th, if there is a game 4 at Kitchener at 7:30, and a 5th game if there's a 5th game needed, Wednesday, August 27th at Welland at 7:15. You can get tickets through the Kitchener Panthers website or the Wellington Jackfish website as well, or check out the Intercounty Baseball League's website, theibl.ca as well. Terrific semi-pro baseball, very talented, very competitive. So if you're in Ontario, check out one of these IBL playoff games as well. And that is about it for today's show, guys. I do apologize. It was supposed to be last night, but my guest had some technical difficulties. So I want to say thank you to Karen Wilson, again, an actor, a public speaker, entrepreneur, and positive advocate, for coming on here today. And looking forward to Thursday. Not one, but 2 shows with Mary Morgan at 11:30 a.m., a voiceover artist, and then at 2 o'clock, longtime Detroit media and radio personality Sean Belegian will be on to talk Detroit Tigers with us. And the Tigers are playing much better baseball lately. They've won 7 out of their last 10 games, and I believe 14 out of their last 19 games. And they now have their lead in the Central back to 9 games over the Cleveland Guardians. And hopefully the Tigers can keep this up as well. And the Philadelphia Eagles will conclude their NFL preseason schedule this Thursday night, 7:30, when the Eagles travel to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Jets. And the Eagles are 0-2 in preseason, but I'm not worried about that. I just want to see the team get ready for their home opener on September 4th and banner raising ceremony against the Dallas Cowboys as well. Again, I want to say thank you to Karen Wilson for coming on here today. And I want to say thank you to Abby from Franny's Restaurant and Bakery, located at 2890 Victoria Street North in Breslow, Ontario, halfway to Kitchener on Highway 7. You can call Franny's Restaurant and Bakery at 519-648-2371, or you can email Franny at fran.adsett@simpatico.ca. They have great breakfast food, great lunch food, and great dinner food there as well. So make sure when you're on your way to Kitchener or coming to Guelph, check out Franny's Restaurant Bakery, again at 2890 Victoria Street North in Breslow, Ontario. And thank you to Abby for getting my mom, who turned 80 today, her cherry cheesecake. So my mom Noreen, wishing her a happy 80th birthday. Without her, I would not be here right now. So moms are very special, and turning 80 is a really special occasion as well. And that is it, guys. I want to say thank you to everyone watching this live streamed on my social media platforms as well as my audio platforms. And I will download the audio, the video, and some reels and clips later today. And I hope everybody has a great afternoon, and we'll see you back here Thursday at 11:30 with Mary Morgan and 2 p.m. with Sean Belegian. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you on Thursday. And Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, again, is brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph. Good afternoon, everybody.